The world of Hyrule is filled with all kinds of strange secrets, especially in Breath of the Wild, where the world was almost completely destroyed by evil. However, out of all the odd things seen in the kingdom, there's one mystery that hasn't been solved yet, and will play a huge role in the next game: the ZONAI tribe. A lost civilization of powerful magic users believed to have created the ZONAI ruins and similar structures such as the Telepatha ruins, the Great Lomai labyrinths, and the other animal-themed ruins found throughout Hyrule. What happened to them, and how could it all impact the new Breath of the Wild 2 sequel? Well, let's find out. Now, in the depths of the Faron Woods, in the heart of the Faron grasslands, are some weird structures known as the ZONAI ruins. These ancient remnants of a kingdom are thought to be the home of a mysterious tribe of barbarians known as the ZONAI, who vanished a long time ago. These ruins mark only the entrance to a much larger ruin complex, which spans from its start at the Floria River, throughout the Damel Forest, and up to the Spring of Courage. However, stuff like this is also found in a ton of other areas of Hyrule. The gigantic mazes found in the corners of the world, next to the Lost Woods, and in way more places. They were a great and powerful warrior tribe who worshipped Hylia as seen in their ruins, and back in the day they dominated the world. However, at some point they lost all their power and almost disappeared off the face of the planet. The only survivors that can be found are the inhabitants of Lurlin village. They are the descendants of the ZONAI. If you just look at the markings seen in the ruins and the ones seen in this village, you will instantly see that connection. Nowadays, they live a quite normal life, being fishermen or traders and nothing more. Their warrior ways and old cities are gone. However, what exactly happened to them? Well, in the new trailer for the game's sequel, they showed off a lot of ZONAI stuff which is related to what happened to Ganondorf. And maybe using this, we can explain what went wrong. First of all, what do we know about the ZONAI from the first game? Well, the ruins I mentioned earlier are believed to be the home of this lost warrior civilization who probably used to worship a water dragon and Hylia. There are a number of dragon statues found there within Drokazu Lake and Drokazu River, which are shaped like a serpent dragon, so it does fit. And Hylia is also seen a ton. But there's another interesting thing we can see. In general, a lot of their structures are primarily animal-themed, based upon dragons, owls, and boars, which all symbolize aspects of the Triforce, implying it held a cultural significance to the ZONAI people. Presumably, they idolized dragons and boars because power and courage would be valued by a tribe of warriors, while owls would have symbolized wisdom in relation to military leadership, as well as mystical and martial knowledge utilized in warfare. But at some point they met their end, and so we ended up going from an entire empire to only one small village known as Lurlin. And this is basically all we know about them. Some minor details on what kind of tribe they were, who they worshipped, what kind of armor they used since it can be found in the game, and that they met their end. But now, with the sequel's trailer, we can see that they played a role in sealing away Ganondorf's body, since a lot of the areas seen seem to be ZONAI ruins as well. So I think it's finally time to try and explain what happened to them now that we have this new information. Now, when it comes down to it, I have two possible explanations to what could have happened to this insanely powerful empire. It must have been something sudden and so incredibly powerful that they had no chance of dealing with it, recording all of it, and thanks to that lost. Now, after looking into all of this, there's one weird little thing tied to the ZONAI tribe that could possibly explain what happened to them. The Telepthio ruins, which are ancient ruins that, for reasons unknown, have a veil of jet black fog hovering over the vicinity. It's so impregnable that Link cannot possibly count on the light of the sun to guide him through here. The ruins also feature bogs that Link can sink into and drown if he's not careful while making his way through the ruins to find the shrine there. Tons of enemies like Hinoxes, Bokoblins, and even Stelkoblins appear in the ruins day and night as well. Overall, it's really dangerous. And yet again, in this area you will find a ton of old destroyed statues, walls, roads, bird torches, and more, which were part of this ZONAI settlement before it met its end. Now, it's really strange that this place is covered in darkness forever, which happened out of nowhere as far as we know. And because this is so odd, I think it played a role in the downfall of this kingdom. After seeing the new trailer for the sequel, we can all be quite sure that the old ZONAI played a role in the sealing of Ganondorf's body, which probably happened a long time ago. The reason why we can be so certain that all of this happened centuries ago is because even on the tapestry, which tells the story from 10,000 years ago, we see Calamity Ganon and not Ganondorf. This probably means that even back then his body was sealed away. That's why he returned as a malice beast. But now there's still one big question. If the ZONAI really sealed Ganondorf away, then what took them out? And why did they allow Ganon to take on a malice form? Well, that's because it was actually the Demon King incarnate that ended up destroying them in order to turn into the monstrous being known as Calamity Ganon. The darkness that covers this place isn't useful for the ZONAI at all, and even a lot of land around it is a desolate wasteland, which doesn't completely make sense since a volcano would give the ground volcanic ash, which would make the ground extremely fertile. So could it be that a dark force swept into the settlement, killing all light, and also taking care of all the citizens and soldiers found there? It's not even a really weird tactic. Zant even used this in Twilight Princess when attacking the castle throne room. It could even be that this darkness is actually malice, which means that Ganondorf has done all of this. It could completely make sense. In the trailer, we even see malice pouring out of his sealed body, which seems to be a pretty bad thing. Because when that stuff finally reached a living being, which is the rat seen in the trailer, it was consumed by it straight away. So seeing this, I think it's 100% possible that Ganondorf has been leaking malice for centuries. And thanks to this, has an influence in the outside world, and was able to become a malice beast in the long run, as seen in Breath of the Wild story. I even did a theory on this about 2 weeks ago, where I explained the broad story of the first and the second Breath of the Wild game. So check that out after this video. I will link it in the upper right corner with some more Breath of the Wild sequel videos. But let's continue. Now the reason why Ganondorf did this was probably to get rid of the ones who sealed him away, and were most likely guarding the body. Otherwise, he could do absolutely nothing. And so he used the malice that pours out of his body to take care of the city and get rid of anyone there. They couldn't survive for long after all, because there was no way out and darkness all around them. After that happened, there was no one left to stop Ganon from doing whatever he wanted, and as we know, almost all the ZONAI were taken out, so of course, attacks like this happened in other places as well. This is a possibility and would explain why it's all dark there and how the ZONAI met their end without anyone knowing why. Although we do not see the darkness in every ruined ZONAI settlement, so it might be that something like this only happened in this place, which might be a hint that this place was more important than any of the others. Maybe because they kept Ganondorf there, a connection to his tomb, or because it was one of the biggest settlements they had. However, this is only an option. I also have a second theory on what could have happened to them. However, it's still related to the possibility of Ganondorf trying to escape the grasp of the ZONAI who sealed him away. Because when looking at this darkness-covered city, there's another thing that stands out immediately. The monsters found within and outside of the ruins. The dark setting of the place even allows stealth enemies to spawn constantly with no end, because sunlight doesn't reach down there thanks to the dark fog. Maybe this is how Ganondorf took care of this settlement, because it was way too big for a normal monster attack. Because when we go to any of the other ZONAI ruins, we find enemies time and time again who have taken over everything. So it could also be that using his powers of malice, darkness and the blood moon, he attacked the settlements of the ZONAI to get rid of them, so he could finally have more options in terms of breaking free or destroying Hyrule. In my opinion, either of these two theories are currently the best fit to explain why the ZONAI tribe is no more. They were in the way of the King of Evil, which didn't end well. However, I need to mention one point that some people have been bringing up when it comes to the shadow-covered place, the Twilight. In the game Zelda Twilight Princess, we see some sort of dark fog in the Twilight Realm, and people think that this fog seen in these ZONAI ruins is the exact same stuff. However, that actually doesn't work out. It's explained that this mysterious haze-like element seen in the Twilight Realm is composed of shadow crystals created by Zant's wicked magic, and if Link comes into contact with the mysterious element, he will transform into his wolf form, which doesn't happen in Breath of the Wild. Even if if our hero doesn't change into a wolf, we know it impacts Hylians in a certain way, since even normal citizens in Twilight Princess turn into light spirits when they come into contact with the Twilight. So the chances of this stuff being related to the fog seen in earlier games is slim to none. It doesn't even hurt Link in any way, and because of that, I will stick to my take, which is a bit similar to a theory I made on the ZONAI about a year ago, and also fits with my most recent theory on the overall story of Breath of the Wild 1 and 2. Click in the upper right corner to find those, by the way. So yeah, sadly enough, this powerful civilization probably met their end thanks to the one thing they were trying to stop, allowing the dark energy of the beast to be unleashed. Hey you there, thank you for watching. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the bell button next to it. Check out the stuff I put in the upper right corner and any annotations on the screen right now. I hope you liked it. Leave a like and a comment to show appreciation. Yay.